Hi everyone, welcome back. As you can see, I brought the small mower and the big mower. The weather we've been having for the last couple of weeks has been thunderstorm, warm weather, sunlight, thunderstorm, warm weather, sunlight, which means lots of water, lots of heat, and lots of growth. The downside is I have to take care of this now. I haven't been able to touch the orchard for about 3 weeks now because I've been quite sick. Now that I'm back on my feet, let's get this orchard back on track. And that means time lapse. Here we are about 2 hours later. Let's walk around and show you what things look like and how the orchard is progressing. So here's the box store special that I was a little worried about because it was taking its sweet time to wake up from dormancy. Not perfect, but I'll take it for the price I paid. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut off what is actually dead that didn't survive so that the tree can concentrate its energy on what is actually alive and just put on size and growth this year, and then we'll worry about fruits a couple of years down the road. Just want to make sure that I want it to survive as best as I can. So if I take my knife here, I scrape the bark here, might be hard to see, but it's brown and not green underneath. So that part is for sure dead. If I go all the way back, this branch is indeed dead. So we're gonna cut it off. If you look at this one over here, we can see green, 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 and there's a nice cut. Safe to say, so yeah, so this is dead here. So what I'll do is I'll cut at just above the last bud that opened up in leaves. And there we go. And I'll just keep making my way around and remove what's not alive and then trim it down a bit. And if you guys are keeping track, this is the Stanley plum that I want to go with the Italian plums over there. So this one's doing good, which I'm happy about. All right, bear with me here. I've got my list open on my phone. Again, here is a honey locust, a nitrogen fixer. It's currently growing in a pot in the garden. I'll transplant it in the fall because right now, mid-July is the worst possible time to transplant them. Here is a combo pear. It's doing okay, not crazy good, not crazy bad. We are seeing some nice new growth from it. Compared to some of the other trees, not very aggressive growth on its part. But otherwise, seems to be doing okay. And then we have Northland blueberries and Saskatoon berry over here. The blueberry seems to be doing really well, very happy. I see I missed one of these bad boys here. Man, these plants are so annoying because they are rhizome based when they grow. Rhizome meaning they shoot roots horizontally and then they just grow up. So they keep popping in between the cracks of the cardboard. So they're everywhere. And I feel like some of the seeds were in the old mulch I had. So I've been looking into some landscaping fabric and I do believe that's the way I'm going to go, just for simplicity. Cardboard's working well, but it needs to overlap at least 8 inches so that the weeds don't find the cracks. And I just didn't have enough cardboard to do everything. And you can buy rolls of 300 feet of landscape fabric. Over here we have Duke blueberries, who are doing really well, followed by Blue Crop blueberry. Not too bad. I mean, when I transplanted them, they didn't seem happy, but now they seem happy enough. Blueberries like an acidic soil. I did get a soil tester, which in hindsight, I probably should have tested my soil before. But I'll eventually get some tests done to see what kind of soil I'm looking at here. Here is a combo apple. This is the only tree in the orchard that actually made one fruit, but it had since, I think, rotten out or died or fell off. But look at the growth on this one. All of this is all new growth. So everything here, this is all new growth from this year, from just a couple of weeks in the ground, which is amazing. So this apple tree, safe to say, is quite happy where it is right now versus the pear tree. It's funny too because I was reading that apples don't like water as much as pears, and I was afraid the ground was too saturated with water. Apparently not. This is where the black locust is going to go. Here is the other Home Depot special, Italian plums. I'm very happy with its progress, considering the price and the shape it was in when I got it. We can see some nice growth here. I should probably come back and cut the dead part here. But otherwise, some nice new growth at the bottom there. Very pleased with how this is going. What do we have here? Got some type of caterpillar in here. Should probably get rid of that. Yeah, I'll get rid of that. I'll cut that part off here before it eats what's left or what little there is of my tree available. Another locust is going to come here. Here we have the combo plum. You saw already I trimmed the dead parts and quite happy with how it's doing so far. As far as I know, the main one here is the peach. Just gonna double check here. Nope, that's a plum. The peach is this one. So this is a plum and this is a peach. Hopefully the peach survives the winter. And here is a transplant from the burn pile, the wild raspberries. The main one doesn't seem crazy happy, but it brought up a new shoot, and that one seems really happy. And it's even trying to have little flowers and some wild raspberries going. Here we have the combo Asian pear, which is doing quite well. You can see some really nice growth from this one over here. Nice growth everywhere. Now these darn Japanese beetles are causing havoc in the apple trees around the house. I'm gonna have to find a solution for them. And then we have heritage raspberry over here, and then Boyne raspberries. And if you watch my shorts, this is the raspberry that produced that delicious first fruit, official fruit of the planted permaculture orchard. That one is extremely happy. I'm very happy with this result. That one, I kind of broke half of it before transplanting it, so it's kind of my fault, but it seems to be catching up quite well. Here is the only locust that actually grew from seeds, black locust. So hopefully it survives, because growing it from seed in the ground where it's going to stay forever versus transplanting it, it's always better to plant it, at least I find, because it's used to its environment. Over here we have pink and blueberry, just doing okay. And hardy blueberry, also doing quite okay. And this is a Stella cherry tree, which just again exploded with growth, so I'm quite happy to see that. Very, very, very happy. Lots of growth. This is the combo apple that I was scared was actually gonna drown because it was so wet when we planted. I should still do the tests and get my Father's Day gift, which is a post hole digger, a manual post hole digger, and dig near it. And we should not hit water for at least 3 feet. Otherwise, once this thing grows to full size, it'll always have its feet wet and it's gonna basically rot. But we're seeing some really nice growth from everything here. So far it's happy. It's also, I'm pretty sure, in a dwarf rootstock, meaning that the tree that everything is grafted, the rootstock, basically what the branches are grafted to, I'm pretty sure is a dwarf tree that won't grow too tall. So that means the roots won't grow too deep. So I might be able to get away with it. And then we have Mr. and Mrs. Haskap, which are growing quite nicely, which I'm pleased about. Here we have the Black Tartarian cherry tree, which is doing really well too. Some very nice growth from it also. So I'm very happy to see that. And on the side here we have some yellow raspberries, which are quite happy. And the one that is absolutely not happy, some Chester blackberries. I'm not sure what happened to this one. I mean, some of it is still alive, some of it suffered. I'd have to go back and watch the previous footage of my last walkabout, but I don't recall this one being this damaged or in this bad a shape. Well, there's still some green. I removed everything that was dead, trying to give it some better chance of surviving. It was covered and engulfed with all the weeds, so it was competing for sunlight and resources. So hopefully this cleanup is going to give them a chance, and we have some more of that heat and rain and sun forecasted for the next week. So great growing conditions for plants. And then finally over here is going to be the last locust. If you look over here, this is what I planted, those wild raspberries I'm talking about. This is the plant I transplanted. So this is one of the burn piles. It is completely full of raspberries. They're not fully ready yet. They're quite small, so I don't think I'm going to plant any more, because it's not like it's something that's worth picking if I have the choice between a full raspberry and this. They sure are delicious though. But yeah, they're not quite ready. They're not coming apart easily. But the best ones are deep, deep, deep in the pile there. And I know this is home to Mama Raccoon, so I don't want to disrupt them. But hopefully this is what I can look forward to eventually. What a difference a little bit of TLC does. Bit of mowing, bit of weeding. I came back yesterday with the brush cutter on the back of the tractor and I did a big circuit around to get rid of the big stuff, and then I came back with the push mower to do the more fine work so I don't destroy anything by accident. I've tried to clean it to my best of my abilities. It will grow back, obviously. As you notice, there's not that many wood chips left, and some of the piles that were a bit bigger are almost completely broken down already, and it's basically soil. So it was probably too advanced for my needs. Instead of blocking the weeds, it created a nice environment for the weeds. And if you notice, when I was mowing where the pile of wood chips used to be, there was a bit more diversity. The weeds were bigger and it was denser. So obviously I think it was playing against me for the purpose I put the wood chips for. Otherwise, very happy with how things are going. I haven't lost any plant yet. Everything's growing, everything's happy, some more so than others. I'm surprised by the pear. I thought there'd be a bit more growth, but I'm happy it's alive. I'm happy it's working. Got to taste my first fruit. I know that probably another 2-3 years for the big fruit trees before they start producing, but otherwise very happy. You can also see here, this is my temporary watering setup for now until I figure out something a bit better. I might build a platform to elevate it to give me more head pressure just by gravity itself. I do have a send point that's lying in the middle of my shallow well that's not being used. I could try to dig a send point here with a manual pump to refill that, get some solar here, get a little actual solar powered pump so I can water things. Currently I don't have to water, there's enough rain, but if there is a dry spell I would have to come and water, so still lots of time to figure it out. Obviously money is a factor these days, got to make sure that I don't go broke. But again, the best time to start an orchard was yesterday, the second best time is now. So I want to make sure I get things going and on the road, especially that it takes years before trees get mature enough to start producing. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Big work to do in the Christmas tree farm. We have some weeding and some cutting to do around the young trees, and it is time to shape the trees. This year, I think what I'll do is I'll have to go around and decide which trees are going to be completely gone, which trees I'm going to trim, which trees I'm going to not trim, because when you trim them, it's not a guarantee that they'll be nice and full this season to sell. So I want to have some trees that are decently shaped, decently full, that are available for sale this season. So I don't want to cut every single one of them. If the shape is right and the size is right, I'd probably leave them as is. Otherwise, I'll start to shape some of the other ones and then we'll go from there. If you've liked, subscribe, more content coming. I have more ideas, more projects. Otherwise, leave a comment down below. Leave me a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.